Welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. I'm your host, Hannah Hislop, here with Bill Bunze, the accounting manager at Prime Source Credit Union. Bill, how are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. As we were talking about earlier, we're having some rain today. I guess we'll try to enjoy that, but it's a good day today.
I know. This rain it's coming down hard out there for the last couple days, but I think it's good. It's good.
We'll clear out all that smoke that we had.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm so excited to talk to you, but first we're going to cut to a commercial break, so hang with us and we'll be back with Bill.
Style, structure, innovation. This year, the Spokane Home Builders Association's Fall Festival of Homes will be a fully virtual event with over 20 homes and 16 local builders. Whether buying, remodeling, or looking for design inspiration, find it at shba.com. Sponsored by Ferguson Bath, Kitchen, and Lighting Gallery and Bosch. Local resources, proven leaders. The Spokane Home Builders Association.
We believe every person is created in the image of God with immeasurable beauty and worth, that people should not be defined by their present condition or past mistakes. We are all broken. We need each other. Healing for our brokenness begins with connection, with understanding how much we are loved by a good God. And with healing comes change, the potential for joy and meaning. No one was created for mere survival on the streets, for an existence blurred by mind-numbing substances. Each person is created with a purpose, a unique gift no one else can offer the world. Our job is to help them rediscover it. Real people, real change. Union Gospel Mission.
Welcome back. I'm here with Bill. Bill, I would love to just jump right into this. So, what is Prime Source?
Well, Prime Source is a credit union, and like most credit unions, we offer a full array of all financial products and services you'd expect at all financial institutions.
Okay, so what is your role as accounting manager there?
So my role as the accounting manager is really to make sure that all of the systems and any of the products and services that are being utilized, everything is balancing at the end of the day. I manage two accounting clerks. They really are the ones who are behind making sure that everything's balancing and that transactions are happening the way that they should happen. And they find offages and errors and things like that. So my role is really to assist in making sure that all the processes and procedures are in place and that they understand what they need to do to make sure that everything is handled properly and accounted for.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that you're one of the overarching people at Prime Source?
Yeah, I'm part of the management team there.
Okay.
So, and as part of that management team, one of the things we have is called an asset liability committee, and we meet monthly and we discuss how the business is doing financially, how our products are doing. We look at rates, and we look at everything from our deposit rates and our loan rates, and see how what the volume's like in any of the products, and we kind of compare that to the market, compare ourselves to our peers, and we also look historically back to see how we're performing and see if there's any adjustments we can make in our portfolio, and that's when we do repricing and things like that for rates. And we're always looking to get the best rate for our member, but also we have to make sure we keep the lights on. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that kind of segues into my next question. What is a credit union?
I'm glad you asked that question because I think it's a very important question for consumers to understand the answer to. I think credit unions, for those who have not learned what they are or not educated in what they are, can be confused. And just the name alone, what does credit union mean? And so really all a credit union is it's an alternative to a bank. So it's very similar to a bank in that it's a financial institution. And like I said earlier, we have all of the products and services you would expect to get at a fully functional financial institution. The difference between banks and credit unions is, banks really they exist to just make money and make money for their stockholders. The difference for credit unions compared to banks is that they are member-owned. So the members own their credit union and they control their credit union. They have boards that are principally comprised of, well, it's all members, and so they elect their board, who then manages the management team and decides what direction they want their credit union to go in. And so one of the things that credit unions will do is try to find the best way to match up people's money. So you have people who deposit money, and we're always trying to find good rates for them and a good place to put their money. But then you also are looking on the other side where you're now lending that money out to people that need to borrow. And so we're trying to get good rates for them too. So you're always trying to match up what people's needs are.
Yeah, totally. Wow. That's great. I mean, I didn't know that, so I hope you guys learned something about that. But who can apply for a credit union?
So most credit unions, when they start out with what's called a select employer group. We call them SEGs. And that's actually the inception of all credit unions. So let's say there's a group, like right now we're in the Comcast building. Let's say that it's Xfinity or Comcast people that would like to have their own credit union. And so they decide they want to charter that. And at first, they get mostly Comcast employees and their family in there. And over time, what you'll see, what a lot of credit unions are doing now is they open up, they go move to a community charter. So they open up their charter so that anybody, usually in a community or given area, can join. So like our credit union, Prime Source, they made a move about 15 years ago to become open charter, and now anybody living, working, or worshiping in Spokane is eligible to join. So you yourself could join today if you wanted to.
Okay. So you mentioned an open credit union. What's the difference between something that's not open, a closed one?
Okay. Again, like with the SEG example I gave you, the select employer group, really just they determine who their select group is, and those are the people who are eligible to join.
Okay.
And so that's kind of the difference. And because of that, sometimes there's confusion that people think, wow, credit unions are not for me. There's no way I can join one. But you'd be surprised. There's quite a few open charter credit unions out there, and usually some of the biggest ones, that's how they're so big, is they're able to open up their charter and really let most anybody join.
Yeah. So how would someone who's looking to open an account with a credit union look for an open chartered?
So there's multiple ways you can try to locate a credit union. One of the ways I would suggest in this area is the Northwest Credit Union Association. There's a website for that, and so they would be able to tell you what credit unions are in your area of the state. So that association is comprised of Washington, Idaho, and Oregon State. And then those states are kind of cut up into what's called chapters. So there's the Spokane chapter of credit unions in Washington State. And if you were to go onto the website and look up the Spokane chapter, you could see which credit unions are available to you.
Mm-hmm. Wow, so interesting. So COVID-19 has affected lots of people, many businesses, but money is a huge part of that. Could you elaborate a little bit on how COVID-19's affected Prime Source and credit unions in general?
Yeah, and you're right. It really has impacted people. We've seen the array here from good to bad. Some people are doing okay. Some people are really hurting still in this country. And, I know they're still trying to figure out, are we going to do another stimulus package or not? And the economy looks like it's still unforeseen. Some things were starting to rebound a little and some things not. So it's really a mixed bag, and it's hard to tell what's going to happen. But I can definitely tell you, for our credit union, it has impacted our members. And immediately, one of the things we did was a member assistance program. We saw the need that the members had, that they needed a little bit of extra cash and some room to be able to pay for bills. So we provided that to them for some low rates and some no rates, down to a 0%, interest rate. And whatever helped the member that we could provide for them. One of the other things we've done recently is we have a very low rate auto loan, and part of that is giving people a cash back for that. So they get $500 cash back, up to $500 for bringing a loan over or initiating a loan with us, and then that way they have a little bit of extra spending cash. And then on top of that, we took it a step further and said, well, let's give them 90 days to pay back the loan. People are really hurting. So things like that, you're going to see in this environment that there's going to be a lot of refinances. People will probably be looking to their homes we're fortunate to live in a great bubble in Spokane that the home values have still been going up. And so that's a positive thing, which that builds equity in your home. And so people are more than likely, and I've seen it, they're refinancing their homes and putting all of their other debt into that home so that they have one affordable payment and they have a little bit of relief that way.
Yeah, wow, that's great. So as a county manager, how do you determine which people in your credit union, how do you determine which people need help during the COVID-19 pandemic? Do they apply to you? Do they come to you and ask? How does that work?
So for me, I mostly focus on the accounting side and help with, I'll be focused on investments for the credit union. So whatever we can't put into loans, when there's surplus of money, then we'll put that into investments, and I'll look and see what's out in the market and make recommendations to my CEO, who will then decide what we're going to invest in. But for the other managers at the credit union, so we have our branch managers and our operations manager and our executive vice president, they're really the ones who are close to that. They have their policies in place for their underwriting for what they can and can't do, and anything that might go outside of that, that's an exception, can be reviewed, and they will look at things on a case-by-case basis to see how can we help members. Because again, it's all about people helping people. That's kind of the mantra for credit unions, and that's what I love about the credit union I work at. They really do care about the members, and they're very there's a familial feel at that credit union that the employees feel like family, and that they extend that on to their members. And so I love working there for that reason.
That's great. I mean, people helping people is huge during a pandemic, so that's amazing. How did you end up getting to credit unions?
Well, when I was younger, I started out doing some construction. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, and I'm probably still growing up right now, but I'm probably really only 22, even though if you look at my age, it's, older than that. But I stumbled across banking, and I thought, well, I want to see what that's like. And so I found a credit union, Spokane City Credit Union, and great little credit union, and they're still around today and doing great. And that's where I got my feet wet, and I really loved it. And I started learning all the different products that were available to members. And then I moved on to another credit union, and in that credit union, I was able to really be in almost every aspect of the credit union that you can imagine. And so now that I've moved on to Prime Source, I'm focusing on accounting and really trying to hone those accounting skills, because I didn't spend too much time in that department.
Well, this is great. Just to close out, do you have any tips and tricks for people who are looking to open an account, a membership with the credit union, looking to manage their money a little bit better?
Yeah, one of the things you can do is to really kind of research your credit union or give them a call and find out what are the different ways they can help you. Think about what do you need first and go from there. Sometimes what credit unions or other financial institutions won't know is where is it that you need help the most, or what is your overall picture. So if you can provide a complete picture of your financial situation, just be honest. That's my number one tip, is to be honest. They'll honestly look at how they can help you and what ways to help ease any burden you have financially. And you'd be surprised what they can do by looking at your overall situation. Sometimes, like I said earlier, it could be as simple as realizing that, there's a little bit of equity in my home, and I have these other debts, and I can move those into my home. Now those payments for the other debts are gone. And there's many other ways to look at your debt, so I wouldn't go into all of those ways. But so really it's just being honest and having a good, open conversation with whoever your financial advisor is at your credit union, and I'll just say credit union, not bank. So
Honesty's the best policy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us today, Bill. I enjoyed getting to talk to you and learning more about credit unions. So you can catch this talk with Bill. He had great information. So I'll see you next time at Spokane Talks.
Thanks for watching. Ask the host a question, recommend a guest, or check out any of our other programs on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SpokaneTalksMedia.com. Sponsored by Local 29 Firefighters Union, Well Dressed Walrus, and homes for you.